Yo, what is good, guys? It's your boy Make and welcome back to another Haikyu Fly High video. And in today's video, I'll be showcasing the full Inarizaki team gameplay, and essentially the main ones being the twins. The reason I'm using the full Inarizaki team is because one, we have the members to use it, so why wouldn't I use it? And considering the fact that Inarizaki's playstyle revolves around no crit, and when I say revolves around no crit, I essentially just mean Asuma because he essentially needs no crit to activate his attack technique and quick attack percentage, while the rest of the team doesn't actually require no crit, except for Kita here because Kita actually has some skills that require no crit, but he also requires reflex for his defensive technique, so that point still stands, and he's essentially a support unit. If we take a look at his skill res, his S4 actually heavily carries him to most teams because of the fact that he could increase your ally stamina once you use an ultimate, and also increases team morale if Kita doesn't miss a receive. And if you guys didn't know, Osuma's skill 1 actually reduces his awareness to 0% at the start of the match, which essentially increases his attack technique for every 1% decrease. So you can already tell he pairs up fine with his twin. Also, Asuma is literally 75% serve. He has two serves, it's a jump serve and it's also a float serve, but they both have different buffs. And essentially when Asuma performs a serve, if the serve is aimed at a weak spot in the opposing team's defense, the power of the serve is increased by 30 to so on of serve stat as power. And when the serve is not aimed at a weak spot in the opposing team's defense, the receive of your back row player is increased by 10% and so on, and the effects last for just one rally. He also has a dual skill with his twin and is their minus tempo attack with 265% of his quick attack as power, and it also increases Asuma's attack technique by 15%. But in the future you can find yourself replacing Asuma with SP Akashi. Why? Because SP Akashi could essentially guarantee a crit, breaking Asuma's mechanic of his 0% awareness at the start of the match, which will lead Asuma to do a heavy amount of output. So essentially SP Akashi will be the best setter for Asuma in this situation. First of all, this will be an amazing team, not just because you have a full Inarizaki team. You don't need to have a full Inarizaki team. It's just that Asuma isn't as cooperative with other teams other than his own, but this is why he's essentially best here. But even so, Kita with the twins have an amazing bond that increases the attack technique for Asuma. It increases receive, I think, for Kita, and it also gives stacks to Asuma for his skills. And I'm pretty sure there's more stuff, but I don't remember, and I don't feel like going back and reading it. But either way, we have more than 4 members of the Inarizaki team, but just with the 4 members, you know we get a full Inarizaki team synergy, which will grant offensive technique with defensive technique, and I think it's around 5% or so. I actually don't remember. And to have a very quick overview on what each member has, Asuma isn't skill resed up. Don't worry, he's just on 0 dupes. You don't need his S2 or S4. His S2 will tremendously help if he is the only quick attacker in his team. And I know this team is essentially the only main quick attacker, but in future teams, he's not going to be fully paired up with Inarizaki. So there will be other quick attack members in a quick attack based team, and he won't actually need his S2, but nonetheless, it will still help. And his memory, that will increase his quick attack percentage, and his memory is 100% worth picking up, only if you're going to use Asuma here, because there is no other quick attack opposite hitter. So having this memory will only be for him for now. And then we cut to our only SR, and he's just here because I wanted to make the Inarizaki team, and I'm like, wait, we have an extra member so we could do the Inarizaki video. And the thing is, I might not even call this title the Inarizaki team. I might just call it the Miya twins because everyone wants to know about the Miya twins. But either way, he just has the basic memories that I think all of us know. And then Eren here with the core memory essentially being an all-rounder memory. It essentially increases the main stats of the main function of your character, but because it increases based on what the unit has. And Eren here is actually duped the fuck up. And Eren's S4 and S2 are very essential for him. It will help him tremendously to recover his stamina because Eren's power hit ultimate takes 60% of his stamina, so he's basically another Asahi, but with his skill resist he will get his stamina back, especially with Kita S4 as I already explained. His S2 gives him his breeding technique, and he gets 3 of those stacks in the beginning. At the end of the rally, it will consume all the breeding techniques, and he will gain 4 stamina for each technique consumed, because Eren's power hit ultimate takes 60% of his stamina, leading to essentially a lot of breeding techniques, and then plus his S2 already giving him more in the start, he will get all his stamina back at the end of the rally. And for his S4, any ally that recovers any amount of stamina, he will get 10 stamina back. So he's literally a stamina consumer, and it's very essential because his ultimate essentially has no cooldown, so he could spam his ultimate and he will get his stamina back. Obviously, if you wrongfully use it, he will go out, and also his breeding techniques are also part of his regular skills. It's not from his skill res, so don't get confused with that. And keep in mind, consuming his breeding technique, it actually increases his power hit percentage by like 30% and more depending on the level. Rentaro here with the wallman memory, and he obviously is maxed up and everything. He also is no dupe, so don't worry about that. I skipped Kita because I already explained his skills. And then Natsuma here, his skill res also not duped up and he's using the regular Sugura memory. And for Akage's skill res is actually on S2 and his S2 is actually not needed, but considering the fact that this is Inarizaki, his skill 2 requires no crit and it will reduce the receive cooldown, and it works perfectly with Kita because he also requires no crit and he gives receive buffs based off no crit, so they pair perfectly. But either way, this one isn't really needed, it just pairs well with the Inarizaki team. I'm pretty sure I showed everything. If you have any more questions, just let me know and I will answer it in the comment section. Hopefully I do, because sometimes I actually don't see your notifications, it doesn't pop up. So but I think it's time for some gameplay. I dragged it out a lot.
調査返上ライ双子速攻マイナステンポはいトライもう一本強いやつからサービスエース取ったら気持ちええやんかナイスし早速ブロック飛んでくれへいへいへい喝采はいらんちゃんとやんねんボール来るって知っとるしドンマイですさあ来いやナイスしサボってへんしライこの位置頃合いこの角度ドンピシャリ攻守ができてこそエースやでもさすがに疲れてきてるみたいだしさあ来いや任せろナイスレシーブはいよ攻守ができてこそエースやうっしゃ強いやつからサービスエース取ったら気持ちええやんか付け焼き場やろ